Sick ass intro. What is up, everybody? Willie Does Wrestling here, back here again with a brand new video. And for the past 24 hours, everyone's been sort of memeing on our boy CM Punk. And that's because apparently there are reports now that CM Punk threatened to like leave the company, or people thought that he might have ended up quitting back in May, while he was feuding with Hangman Adam Page. And shit just sort of went down between the two, sort of like a feud that was supposed to happen um, back in May turned real between CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page, and Punk almost quit because of it. I don't know. So as you guys know, um, back on Dynamite, CM Punk called out Hangman Adam Page, and apparently Hangman wasn't there, or he wasn't supposed to be in the promo. So this little call out was planned, and Hangman Adam Page got kind of pissed about it because he's like, I'm not supposed to be in this thing. I'm not supposed to be in this promo here. Um, so yeah, it turned out this was a real life from CM Punk before CM Punk called out John Moxley, which was planned on Dynamite. And a lot of people are saying that AEW higher ups are saying that this was because Hangman Adam Page did a little dig at Colt Cabana back when they were actually feuding on TV. Colt Cabana and CM Punk have quite a long history with like lawsuits and all this bullshit going on back in the day. So CM Punk was like, fuck this guy. I don't know why the fuck he's mentioning Colt Cabana and all that bullshit. And apparently they had a meeting back in May, CM Punk and AEW higher ups, and CM Punk was like, "Hey, there ain't no way that I'm gonna lose to this guy." So heaven knows if Hangman was supposed to win against CM Punk, if CM Punk was supposed to win the title or what. But CM Punk was ultimately like, "I'm not losing to this guy. I don't care what you guys are thinking. Have me win, or I'm doing this little program." So ultimately, CM Punk won the title. He got hurt. And he comes back a few weeks ago. He's going to have this match with John Moxley for the AEW World Championship literally next week, right? And now there's reports that CM Punk wasn't supposed to, who wasn't going to show up to Dynamite because he's pissed about something. And now there's reports saying he's felt like shit ever since returning to pro wrestling, that he just doesn't really like pro wrestling anymore. It's bad for him. It's not meant for him now. He's back to his roots on where he used to be in WWE. So now there's people in AEW saying that, hey, we're afraid he's going to quit. And that's why everyone's all memeing on CM Punk now. So I decided to come on here and share my thoughts on this. And what do I think? I think CM Punk is going to quit sooner rather than later. Because let's think of this. CM Punk is is the real, undisputed AEW World Champion. He got hurt, and John Moxley is now the interim AEW World Champion. John Moxley has done more in about, a month and a half of him holding that title. He defends it a lot. He's there. He is called the interim champion, but he seems like a real champion. He's a fighting champion. And John Moxley is the type of guy you want there. He's working 3 different promotions: AEW, New Japan, and GCW, and he's killing it everywhere. John Moxley's killing it everywhere. That's the kind of champion you want. Whereas CM Punk, all he does is talk and does his occasional 10-minute match where he's always going to win. It's CM Punk wins or we riot, right? It's CM Punk wins or he riots mainly. Oh, I'm sorry. And that's how he's always been. CM Punk's always been the kind of guy that always complains if he doesn't get his way. And now if you look at Twitter right now, a lot of people are sharing old clips from promos from like John Cena and Triple H being like, you know what's wrong with you, Punk? It's CM Punk wins or riot. You're all about love for pro wrestling and changing, but if CM Punk does not win, you riot or you quit. And that's always been it. Look about when he walked out back in 2014. And there were reports before he came back to AEW that WWE said about CM Punk, they can have him. AEW can have him. Let Phil Brooks be their problem. Phil Brooks is a terrible human being. We don't want him. And I made fun of WWE back then. It's like, really? Why would WWE not want CM Punk? He's doing so good. Blah, 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 blah. CM Punk is known for complaining. If he doesn't get his way, he complains. Look at when he was in the UFC and he proved the fraud. He is not a real fighter at all, man. Everyone hated on CM Punk for that. And I was like, okay, fuck you, UFC. I'll just stay home. And he comes back to pro wrestling after years of trashing pro wrestling. Need I remind you? And then after he came back to AEW, he was like, oh, I love pro wrestling now. I love it. But now that he sees that everyone loves Jon Moxley now, and watch, Jon Moxley, he probably is going to win the unification match tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, next week. Today's Friday. He's probably super pissed about it. I would not be surprised if after the title unification match on Dynamite, Punk leaves. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So, Phil Brooks, man, he loves complaining. What can I say? But I really hope Jon Moxley wins in Dynamite. I really do hope that. Because CM Punk, he's become a joke. He's 40 years old. He got hurt from trying to steal a buckshot lariat. This isn't meant for him anyways anymore. So what are my opinions on CM Punk? Fuck him. I'm not like everybody. You want to quit? Just quit. Prove that you're a fraud. Prove that you don't love this. You're only in it for the money. Prove it. So this has been it for my little tangent. CM Punk complains again. Surprise, surprise. And so if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, be sure to do that. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. This is Willie Does Wrestling. And be sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave title suggestions, or should I say video suggestions down in the comment below. And follow me on Twitter at WillYMYT. That's WILLYMYT. To see my thoughts on wrestling topics as it happens. And yeah, turn post notifications on so you never miss an upload. And yeah, that's all I got to say for that. This has been Willie Does Wrestling. Fuck CM Punk. And peace.